Today's Wednesday, July 16, 2014, and you're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show. The Elevator Radio Show is a proud supporter of the Elevator Escalator Safety Foundation. To find out how you can make a difference, visit their website today, www.eesf.org. Everybody got a good show for you today, so stay tuned. Here it comes.
You're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show, a weekly program dedicated to covering news and information on elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Produced in the wee hours of the morning, a new show is uploaded every Wednesday, sometimes even before you get out of bed. Listen to some of the comments sent in from our audience.
Rob from New York writes, Tom, are you f***ing insane? You actually get up at 2 a.m. each Wednesday to put this show out? Man, you must love elevators. Tim from Illinois writes, I'm not sure why I listened, but ever since I tuned into the first show back in 2007, I've been addicted. Matt in Texas writes, I like your safety messages, Tom. It's important to remember them each and every day. And he also adds,
when am I going to win the monthly prize pack giveaway?
Ron from California sent this in. Despite your inability to pronounce words in the English language, I tune in each week and am glad that you offer this service to the industry. It's better than Google News alerts. Sarah from Washington writes, love the show, Tom, and look forward to it each week. I'm glad I signed up for the newsletter. You provide a valuable resource for the industry, not only for North America, but worldwide.
Enjoy the show. And now, here's your sleep-deprived host, Tom Seibert.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm Tom Seibert. I know you have to turn our audience off because they are a little too rowdy this morning. It is good to be here this Wednesday morning where I almost didn't do this show. Man, crazy. I'm telling you, it was one of those deals where my alarm went off. I was very tired, and I basically turned it off, closed my eyes. Next thing I knew, it was an hour later. I'm like, oh, my gosh, got to get up. So anyway, we were a little bit late this morning. Putting the show together. Man. Yeah, busy. So anyway, I'm so sorry. I'm going through the emails. I didn't get a chance to go through them all, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of stuff here. Anyway, it is good to be here this Wednesday morning. Thanks to everybody who sent emails into as a shout out, helping me, hoping that I get better soon. I thought I was feeling better last Wednesday, and it went downhill from there. I went to the doctor on Friday and literally ended up getting put on some pretty serious antibiotics for some reason, other than the fact that I was not getting better. So I've got a great doctor. Who typically I hate to take medication, but he said, hey, Tom, we're going to double you up on some amoxicillin, 2 tablets a day, I think 1,000 milligrams, and we'll see if we can't knock that out. So I am just feeling better today. So I am done with my antibiotics, and hopefully, I've been trying to rest as much as I can, which means I haven't been doing much training or riding on my bike in the last, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I hope that this is the light at the end of the tunnel. My dad has been sick as well. I'm hoping that he feels better soon. I've been trying to get him to go to the doctor, but he won't do it. So if you know him, tell him to go to the doctor, all right? Maybe just shoot him an email, and I appreciate that. So anyway, got a short show for you today. Almost didn't do it. Actually, I was looking through the content last night in bed, just trying to see what was popping up, what I wanted to kind of talk about. And I was like, wow, there's a couple good articles, a couple serious ones. But other than that, it's pretty light out there, which means that we're all doing our job to keep elevators, escalators, moving walkways out of the news, and which is a good thing. So some other exciting stuff that's been going on here. The Elevator Escalator Safety Foundation held their kind of mid-year conference call, and I have to say some good things are happening there, which are encouraging. I'll have more to report on that as time kind of progresses, as the plan works itself out. But it was good to be there. I think we had about 20 people on the conference call, and overall, I have to say that there was some great commentary, some great criticism, and some great positive feedback, negative feedback, all good feedback. Any kind of feedback is good, in my opinion. And with that, it's good. Glenn Duncan, from one of the founders of Elevator U, is out at Ohio State University, checking out the digs out there to see for next year's conference. Glenn, thanks for heading out there, and he is meeting with Kathy Harper to get kind of all the details, or most of the details, or the preliminary details ironed out for next year's Elevator U conference, which will be held the week of June 21st. It's on the website, elevatoru.org. Make sure you mark your calendars. If you're planning a golf outing, don't plan it that weekend or that week. And we're looking forward to heading out that way. I hope everybody has seriously considered my advice to take a vacation or start planning one. I'm pretty lucky that, while I can take time off, it's not always the easiest thing to do. So next week, I am planning on taking some time off so that I can spend some time with the family before they obviously go back to school. So next week, I may or may not have a show depending on when I head up to the North Woods of Mosquito Country. So I will let everybody know. You'll have a blog post online so nobody has to worry about me and all that good stuff. So on top of that, and Tiffany and the boys are going up on Saturday, so they'll be up there for, I think, a week and a half or 2 weeks, something like that. So anyway, we'll figure all that out next week. But I should have a show the following week, I'm thinking, unless that week kind of overlaps. But anyway, we'll figure that out later on. More excitingly, Tiffany, my wife, has wanted to do a road trip with the boys for the longest time. And I know she's not listening. She doesn't really listen to the show. But anyway, so I've been fighting it. I'm like, oh, road trip, man. I mean, growing up, that's all we did, and I loved it. We camped, we visited, we spent a lot of time in the car, and at that time, literally, there was nothing to do. There was, other than looking out the window and looking at the, landscaping, there really wasn't a lot to do for kids in our age. I think we would stop at a rest area or a truck stop and then get those little games. Do you remember those? The cards that had, I don't know, it was like a card game where you open a window a little to get an answer to a question, and so and other than that, reading a book was about it. So now there's a lot more technology. But the long and short of it is next, or actually I think in 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks, we are going to be headed out to Ohio, and then we're going to go to Niagara Falls. And then we're going to come back to Detroit. So you might be thinking to yourself, what the hell kind of vacation is that? It is a vacation. It is. So it should be fun. I think the kids will enjoy. We're going to, in Ohio, we're going to go visit Cedar Point for a couple of days, visit some family, and then head up to Niagara Falls, which I hear is the armpit of... I shouldn't say it's not the armpit of the United States. But anyway, the unfortunate thing is we don't all have our passports valid, so we can't go to the Canadian side. And that's kind of a little bit upsetting. But what are you going to do? So we'll do that. We'll do the touristy things there. We won't stay at a hotel that has a heart-shaped tub or anything like that. Go to the Wax Museum, all that good stuff. And then we'll come back to Detroit. And Tiffany's been wanting to take us to the Ford's Museum. So I'm looking forward to that. And then so it should, I think, be about a 6-day trip. And hopefully we'll see that week. There will be no show either. So just a heads up on that. So anyway, that's pretty much my life in a nutshell. Work has been very busy. I hope hopefully everything has been busy in your neck of the woods as well. And we'll see whether or not it's. I'm telling you, summer's going to be over before you know it. We've had some awesome weather here in Chicago. Feels like fall. I love fall. I'm not ready to see it come yet, but it has been beautiful. And if I will take it any day of the week, and I think today's going to be a nice day. I don't even mind the rain that much, to be honest with you, but it's just been really mild, really nice, and hopefully you're out there enjoying it as much as you can, because you know it's coming. It's coming along, in a long time, but it's definitely coming. So anyway, let's get into it. We're not going to get into the emails of the show. I was just going through. There's quite a few of them there. I'll do my best to get in and cover my next week's program. Any emails sent over to elevatorradioshow@gmail.com may or may not be responded to right away. I do try to get back to everybody. It's not always that easy to do. So appreciate you, you tuning in today. Again, remember, if you like the program, you want to share it with your friends, families, coworkers, lovers, haters, whatever, feel free to do so, and keep those comments coming. All right. So up next, we'll get right into the news, and we'll have you out of here in no time.
Let this week's news stories give you a lift on what's happening in the vertical transportation arena. Each news segment is organically dug and fresh with news stories of the week. Got lift? If not, stay tuned.
All right, this week's news stories for the week of 7/16, July 16th, 2014. It didn't sound right. Anyway, show number 369. Woo. getting up to the 400 mark. Pretty exciting. Hey, speaking of which, speaking of exciting, the NAC, man, I've got to get my stuff in gear for the show. I'm telling you, I'm the worst procrastinator in the world. I'm sure many of you out there are like that as well. But I do have to get my stuff going for that. Looking forward to the San Antonio conference and seeing many of you who listen to the program. So greatly appreciate that. Okay, first news article, titanium space elevator design out. I'm surprised this hasn't kind of popped up there before. And this one, if we can, distortion of sound. Okay. Anyway, Bollywood singer has plans to build a titanium space elevator in Canada. Has anybody, provided some information in terms of, hey, listen, I don't think titanium's going to do it. It's a strong super material, but it's not. I guess experts have figured that that's not, strong enough. But apparently, no. I'm going to mispronounce your name, Mr. Nofel is born in United Arab Emirates before later moving to Canada. Says he's perfected plans for a 160-kilometer space elevator made of titanium and Kevlar called Telescopic Exoshell. Man, I would love to come up with some design, and I'm not taking anything away from Nofel, but man, I would love to come up with a design that makes the space elevator marshmallows or some substance that may or may not substantially withstand basically the Earth spinning around. Nanotechnology, to my knowledge, is the strongest material out there that would be able to handle that kind of thing. So if anybody's got the money to do it, I'm thinking it's him. But yeah, I don't know. There's a whole, looks like the Stanley Cup, guys. So I don't know. It's quite a, it looks like a combination between the Stanley Cup and a sausage making machine. All right. Yeah, interesting. But if you can draw something up like this and literally just have motherboard.com, motherboard.vice.com, pick it up, I got to come up with some more content like this. I definitely do. Because if that's what it takes, man, I'm doing something wrong here. Okay, on the more serious side, in India, Mumbai, apparently a class 7 grade student died after falling into a lift shaft and crashing through the lift door. Oh man, of the 11th floor at the Rattan Heights and Lamington Road, Mumbai Central, on Tuesday. The incident occurred 2 hours after the victim and his parents and sister. The victim was 13 years old, returned from enjoying a 2-week vacation at their Japan home based on allegations from the building residents and the victim's parents. The Nagpada police have lodged an FIR against the real estate developer Rathod Realty Limited and the Eros Elevators, holding them responsible for the mishap. Ugh. I don't know. I don't know if the mishap can be, they can be held responsible for that. Sounds like somebody banged into those doors and they went down. So just as a reminder and a safety message, make sure your gibs are in good shape. Bottom of the doors are in good shape. They're not rusted, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, not good at all. Okay, next article here. I just tagged it, and some people think elevators are safe. This is a pretty serious accident involving. Let me close this. Man, I got so many damn ads here. I got to find an ad blocker that actually works. But anyway, Channel 7 News in Russia, I guess you want to call it. I'm not sure, but apparently 21 people died and scores more were injured after train derailed on Moscow's packed metro during morning rush hour on Tuesday. Serious accident, obviously, and just goes to show you that there's no form of transportation that is 100% safe in terms of moving people. And obviously our thoughts and our prayers go out to the people that were involved in that accident and their family, because that is pretty significant in terms of accidents and how they and I got more on that story linked later on in the show. Okay, Watertown Daily News has a short little blurb regarding a board to vote on elevator repairs. This is subscription only, so there's not much I can do other than read the title. And it did pull up originally, but not the second time. Kind of cool to see articles like this pop up. It's just too bad that they don't link the actual name of the company that was that actually worked in this building. That would be even better. But apparently, ModelDmedia.com. And this is regarding startup news. 140 Proof, which is, I believe, a marketing company or something expands team and elevator building on Riverfront. And this is in Detroit. And they talk about 140 Proof is growing its presence in Detroit. The social media advertising startup has grown its Motor City staff to 3 people after making a couple of hires this year. But apparently they're expanding. Let's see here. Yeah, they call it the elevator building. Call it the Detroit elevator building. The actual, name for, the company that was in it. Anyway, it currently employs 30 people, including a handful in the elevator building. What the hell does that mean? Anyway, let's give some proper credit where credit is due. This is cool. I think universities, if they were able to do this kind of educational programs, Purdue, and this is coming from agronews.com, Purdue University in West Lafayette, Indiana, is holding, basically, they're offering training in grain storage rescues. And if you've been following the show, or if you get any kind of Google News news alerts regarding elevators, you will note, or you will see in your feed, basically, grain elevator accidents or deaths. They are more common than you can even imagine. And I'm not talking about explosions. I'm talking about, being buried alive, falling into a pit, not being able to help, et cetera, et cetera. When that happens, there's not a lot they can do. So hats off to Purdue University for basically coming up with a rescue training program, which I am certain will get quite a few attendees to it, especially in that location. But first responders, farmers, and grain elevator employees can receive training that could help save a life should someone become trapped in a grain storage structure. Man, scary. And it is a great idea. And I think, educating those on these kind of safety things is huge. I think that's a great thing they're doing. And I just want to link that up. Okay, thestar.com in Toronto, the City Hall, has a short little blurb regarding Councillor Christine Wong Tom urges time standards for residential elevator repairs. And apparently Toronto building residents frustrated with broken down elevators that take too long to fix may experience shorter repair times if Councillor Christine Wong gets her way. So what are they talking about here? Let me scroll down. We can find out. Apparently, let's see here, 22-year-old elevator worker. I'd say use the stairs. Use the stairs. Stairs are a great alternative, aren't they? But anyway, apparently Councillor Christine Wong Tom has her way. She is looking to, pushing the City Council to consider instituting standards for residential elevator maintenance, including potential maximum time limits for repairs in buildings, possibly serving those with mobility issues. I would think that supply and demand should curtail whether or not elevators get fixed right away, right? I mean, if you're an elevator contractor in the Toronto area and you say, we will fix your elevator within X amount of hours, you're going to get a contract. You want customers that are fed up. You don't need the government to step in and say, hey, any residential elevator. First of all, what are you talking about residential elevator? I mean, come on. Are you talking about ones in, elevators in homes or what? Now you got to define what a, quote, residential elevator is and who has mobility issues, et cetera, et cetera. So here it is. This is how the business model works in the United States, or should work anywhere for that matter, where government is not basically telling you what to do, is supply and demand, or basically, provide a good service, provide the ability to, fix equipment quickly, make your customer happy, and you in turn may get that contract or that maintenance contract, back. So yeah, I don't, if it's that, is it that big of a deal in Toronto? Are elevators breaking down all the time and then staying down for no good reason? Anybody up there that can share on that, some information on that? This is not linked back to the, the strike the union had, a few years ago, but I'd love to hear from you. Anybody from Toronto or Canada that can, basically chime in on this, I'd love to hear from you. I don't know. Next news article, the busted BART escalator. This is a kind of an interesting, I think this is a blog post. I'm not 100% sure. Somebody writing in. This comes from Mission Local in the Bay Area Transit, Rapid Transit. Burning questions, that busted BART escalator. Anyway, this is you turn to Mission Local to find out what's going on in our district, to find out about what works and what doesn't. We're launching an occasional series called Burning Questions, in which we dive deep into topics that you are curious about. Oh boy! So if you're watching the video right now, or if you've clicked on the show link and listening to the show, this is hilarious. Okay, so this is a photograph of two mechanics working on an escalator. Okay. Now, they have basically this temporary structure to prevent people from going down at the very top of it. But what do you notice? What do you notice on this photograph here? This escalator's outside. It's completely outside. I mean, hello. I mean, you talk about why. Here's a burning question. Why isn't there a canopy over this thing? I mean, it's unbelievable. So, yeah. Anyway, so what happened? Blame it on step crash, a BART rep said, due to heavy-footed commuters or just our guests. In short, the escalator needs new steps, plus a chain that moves the steps. Also, the escalator gearbox cracked that needs rebuilding too. Man, I would have to say that an escalator in an outside environment is not going to withstand the same kind of abuse or usage as one would be in a thing. Anyway, so they're not sure when it's going to be fixed, but that's some pretty significant repairs that are being done. So just have patience. Your burning questions were not answered. How about that? Excuse me. Okay, Elevator World Unplugged photos of the week. If you're not subscribed to their blog, I encourage you to do that. This is some really cool photo. Here's a cool photo, and you can click on the some of the images from their photo contest of the year, and there's a link there for the finalists that are really pretty cool. So in today's world of sharing photographs and technology and instantaneously, this is pretty cool. So check that out. Link is in the show notes. Encourage you to get subscribed to the Elevator World Unplugged blog. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway. Okay, apparently a U.S. citizen among 4 injured in an elevator accident. This was an accident that occurred in Kazakhstan. And apparently 4 people, including a U.S. citizen, have been injured in an elevator fall at the Medical University in Karaganda in central Kazakhstan. Excuse me, I didn't kind of pronounce that right. Anyway, the elevator fell 3 stories after its cable snapped. What the hell? How do cables snap? Is it just one? As much as we complain or we might have an issue with elevator codes, they are there to protect us. They really are. I wonder what the code is there in Kazakhstan. I wonder. And honestly, there are countries out there that specifically use A17 for their elevator code, even though there's no code in existence or they don't want one. So hats off to them, because I think we do a hell of a better job than the EN81 and anything else that's even remotely closely linked to a code. So, yeah, not good at all. Here's a video by Andrew. Andrew's got a cool video of touring the air traffic control tower at Roanoke, Virginia. Very cool video. I'm not going to play because it's going to play basically an ad, so I'll let everybody watch that in their own time. NAC.org has launched a specification database. Pretty cool here, and I thought the website is really nice. It's a nice kind of relaunched website. I think it's pretty cool. So basically, anything that's posted on NAC specifications database needs to be written in MS Word. It's going to be copied and pasted. So the idea behind this is providing a resource for, I guess, contractors to use and prepare databases or specifications for their clients. I've got to get into this a little bit more and figure out what's going on. Also, latest news, NAC Virtual Exposition. Let's see here. They are going to be, when is that? Visibility? It's not really a virtual exposition. But anyway, the website looks great, and we'll see if we can't get more into this and provide a little more information as we do that. Oh, okay. Anyway, so the specifications database, it does cost $100 annually for a single specification, or $500 annually for an unlimited number of specifications. So anyway, more information, check it out. Link is in the show notes. And you can, check it out. Pretty cool. Okay, tragic accident in Moscow. Again, we're coming back to that original story. Oh, this is a different one. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is terrible. Tragedy for a Russian family as their 1-month-old baby is crushed to death in doors of an elevator. Again, this is why you have elevator codes. This is why you have inspectors. This is why we do what we do here in North America. Okay, that's what we do. And I got to tell you, don't change it. It may not be perfect, but it sure is a hell of a lot better than what some countries have out there. more news regarding that tragic accident regarding the Metro Moscow crash. Apparently, the latest news on that kind of cover is talking. There was no connection at all. We pressed the emergency button; it did not work properly. It was broken. The train driver was silent. Anyway, I don't know what emergency button he's talking about. I'm assuming it's the cord that kind of runs or you press, and that emergency button is not necessarily there to shut the elevator or the the lift down. I imagine, or the train. I imagine what it's there to do is to signal to the conductor or the driver that, hey, you got a problem. There's something going on. Slow down, stop, whatever. So, again, I don't think that's necessarily the correct accounting of that. So, okay, next news article, local8now.com. Cool article from Knoxville, Tennessee, Jefferson City, Tennessee. Apart for 60 years, childhood friends find their way back to each other in an unexpected way, proving that true friendship lives on no matter what, no matter the distance of time. So, pretty cool. The story starts at the Darby House Retirement Center in Jefferson City, where new resident Ella Hurd struck up a conversation with a longtime resident Dorothy Seals in an elevator. So, it just goes to show you that a lot of things can happen in an elevator. And these two were childhood friends 60 years ago, and they reconnected. So that's got to mean something, right? In the world of karma, and what goes around comes around, right? I would think. Anyway, cool. Okay, next is an article, working on a new elevator. This is a photograph that looks terrifying. It's hard to believe this is actually, well, actually it's not hard to believe it's actually here in the States, but kind of a cool view of how a elevator is going in. Where the heck is this here? It doesn't say, but it doesn't show it either. But anyway, kind of an interesting image, and I'm thinking, but just kind of an interesting thing. So this is from the Banner Press on their BrennanhamBanner.com news source. So anyway, and that's pretty much going to do it for the show, everybody. I told you it was going to be short and sweet, which is nice. So if you have a news article you'd like to share, send it to elevatorradioshow@gmail.com. Again, remember, if you have not already made your vacation plans, make them today if possible. Okay? It's really important to do, because before you know it, it's going to be gone, and you don't want it to be gone. I'm telling you. So we work all too hard, and way too hard not to take a trip with family and to see family and all that good stuff, because tomorrow we're never certain of. Okay? So that's going to do it for the show, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. It was good to be here. We'll be back possibly next Wednesday. If not, I'll put a post up, and hopefully it won't be any longer than 1 week. So I'll be thinking about all of you if I don't do a show. And if I do, I think it'd be cool to do a show up there, actually, and show you kind of what it's like up there, because it's pretty neat. We'll see what happens. So have a great rest of the week, everybody. Wash your hands, and again, plan your vacations, okay? We'll talk to you next week, and that's it. Take care. Bye-bye.